So you're probably wondering, why did I, of all people, run a half marathon? So I'm going to tell you in this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, drop a comment below, and also subscribe, because I'm going to be bringing a lot more content to this channel.
I guess this is what we train for.
So it was actually 2020 during lockdown in COVID, where we were restricted, everyone stuck to their houses, no one could go anywhere. And yeah, I went through a bit of a mental battle. I always have been and always will be a very big people person. So all of a sudden I had that taken away from me. I was stuck, I was isolated in my house. And I'm sure every one of you watching this would have gone through a very similar situation. However, running was probably one of the things that really helped me separate pretty much where I was versus where I wanted to be. The reality is being stuck in this small confined space, dreaming, hoping, aiming for bigger things, but not really being able to physically do anything, being stuck, really was a big, I'd say, mental block for me. And ironically, going for a run solved all of that. I've been on this big fitness journey over the past 12 to 18 months. And by having lost a lot of weight, one of the main reasons why I've actually undergone this journey is because of the type of person it's actually made me. Me pushing myself outside of the market, being disciplined outside of the market, is something that really helps me in the market. For many of you watching this, you may be traders, aspiring traders, or even normal people in general. As much as I can preach trading, as much as I can advise you to trade and spend hours behind the charts, you need that thing outside of trading. You need that thing that brings you together outside of the market. So I highly encourage whoever's watching this right now, you can't only have that one passion. You can't only have that one avenue that you're putting all your energy towards. Because when you burn out, there isn't that energy source anywhere else. Then you hit rock bottom. You've got to start again. However, what running's done for me is it's giving me that motivation somewhere else. It's pushing me somewhere else. So when I come to the markets, I'm fully motivated, I'm fully energized, I'm ready to give the markets 110% of my energy, but then I know that I have something else. I have something else to push me. So that's why I decided to run a half marathon.
12.8 miles. So there's 0.3 miles left. But my legs cramping everywhere. But we're gonna keep going.
Now, despite me not being the biggest runner, I thought the only real way that I'm gonna push myself is to challenge myself. So one morning while going to gym, at my local gym, there was an image in the window that said, "We need runners." Now, I'm not much of a runner, but I thought, let me see what they have to say. So I scanned the QR code and a website popped up for the Oxford Half. Now, the Oxford Half is a notorious run that goes through the city of Oxford, and it's a half marathon. A half marathon is 13.1 miles. And that's 21 kilometers long. It's extremely long. Now, for me, over the past 12 months, I've been a recreational runner. I'll go for a 5K, I'll go for a 10K. Not too much, I'm not too worried about my speed as long as I finish. However, while training for this half marathon, I thought I'd start pushing myself. So I had the occasional 12K run, I had the occasional 15K run, but I wasn't really monitoring my time. I wasn't really monitoring my pace per mile, my splits. I wasn't really focusing on that. And that was a very big mistake. That was a lesson I learned on running this half marathon. That was the real challenge. That was the real test. The last 3 miles, when every single part of my body was hurting, everything was aching, I had a stitch on my left rib. Everything, in my opinion, I was done.
Almost done.
And that's where you want to walk. That's where you see everyone really struggling. That's where, for the first time in my life, I really hit a brick wall mentally. You know, in trading, you can take a break and you can come back. But when you know that there's 3 miles left for you to go ahead and finish this challenge, it is such a big mental barrier. And I'm glad I went through that. I'm glad I put myself to that test, because it was good for me to see how far I'm willing to go when even in my own mind, I can't go any further. I couldn't walk. I was having cramps in my legs, in my quads, in my hamstring, in my calves, my feet. Everything was hurting. I remember one lady on the side of the route that I was running had a tub of sweets. She saw my name on my shirt. She's like, come on, Marco, take a few sweets and keep going. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna take a few sweets and I'm gonna keep going. That was probably the best thing I've ever done. The best thing for me was to show myself that despite how hard it was, despite how much my legs were hurting, I had to keep going. And I had to keep going. And that's a motto of mine inside of my mentorship. You have to keep going. You are going to be tested in life, in business, in relationships, in trading, money, finance, everything. There is going to come a point in your life where those last 3 miles is going to test you. In risk management, in trading, there's going to be those couple of trades that's really going to test your risk management. In life, you're going to have those instances where you're really tested. But that's not what you're training for. That's what you signed up for. Same thing with what I've experienced over my journey so far. Obviously moving countries, being a trader for so many years, helping other traders for so many years. You are not training for majority of the race. What you've really signed up for is that last 3 miles. And I'm going to constantly refer to that until I run a full marathon next year. But it's those last 3 miles that you've got to keep going. So if you've watched this and I motivated you in any way, shape or form, put those running shoes on, go for a run. Let me know how it makes you feel. And if you want to run with me someday, maybe we'll run a half marathon together. But for now, I'm going to start training tomorrow, Monday. I start training tomorrow for a marathon next year. I've signed myself up for 2. I'm also signed up for the Berlin Marathon in September. So whichever, hopefully I can get a placement in one of them. But I'm going to try my best. I'm going to push myself to run a full marathon next year. So stay tuned on the journey. I'm going to be bringing a lot more content to this channel, life, my personality, things about me. So subscribe, drop a comment below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.